Alyssa Thomas couldn't get to Caitlin Clark. Clark was sitting on the bench in street clothes, resting her body, watching from the sideline. So Thomas went after the next closest thing instead. She went after Clark's best friend. Elbow to the face. Lexie Hull goes flying across the court like she got hit by a truck. Thomas laughed on camera while Hull was still holding her nose. Still bleeding. Still down on the floor. And then it got worse. Her own crowd in Phoenix saw the replay on the Jumbotron and booed her. Not Fever fans on the road. Phoenix fans. Booing their own player. That's when you know it's bad. That's when you know there's no spin left. We're going to show you exactly what happened second by second. The elbow. The laugh. The no call. The home crowd turning on their own star. And how the Indiana Fever made her pay for it before the night was over. The Fever enforcers served instant karma to Alyssa Thomas. And it was beautiful. What should the WNBA do to Alyssa Thomas? Drop a comment down below. But first, watch this. Welcome to Hoops Uncovered, where we uncover the biggest stories, legends, and controversies in basketball. Let's dive in. Let's talk about how this actually went down. Hull went to contest Thomas's shot near the basket. She played straight-up defense. Honest defense. Textbook defense. Nothing dirty. Nothing extra. Just a player doing her job. Then Alyssa Thomas puts the ball and her arms down, brings them up for a shot, and comes across to drive an elbow straight into Hull's face. Not a glancing blow. Not a brush. A full-force strike. This wasn't a box-out gone wrong. This wasn't two players tangled up fighting for position. Hull had no reason to expect contact because she was playing honest defense. And that's exactly what makes this so hard to explain away as a basketball play. Watch the replay because this is where it gets interesting. Frame by frame, you can see Thomas's elbow isn't down at her side. It isn't tucked in like she's winding up for a shot. It's up. It's out. And it's pointed right at Hull's head. That's not an arm swinging through traffic. That's a strike. A deliberate strike. And the broadcast camera catches every bit of it in a way the referees on the floor apparently missed. Or ignored. You decide. Lexie Hull drops to the floor holding her face. Blood already coming from her nose. And the whistle never blows. No foul. No stoppage. Just Hull on the hardwood while the play keeps moving around her like nothing happened. Like she was invisible. Like she didn't matter. The play continues. Players running past her. Ball moving. Referees watching. And Hull is lying there, bleeding, holding her face, and nobody stops the game. Think about that for a second. A player is down on the floor. Blood is visible. And the game keeps going. That's not a missed call. That's negligence. Here's the part that turns this from a bad no call into something worse. While Hull is still down. Still holding her face. Still bleeding. Thomas smiles. Then she laughs. Caught clean on camera. No question about what her face is doing in that moment. You don't smile after an accident. You don't laugh when someone's bleeding on the floor because of something you did. You smile when you know exactly what you did. And you're not sorry about it. Alyssa Thomas laughs after nearly breaking Lexie Hull's nose. And the cameras caught everything. The elbow. The impact. The blood. The smile. The laugh. All of it. So the officials watching live somehow missed all of this. No foul. No free throws. No review. But everyone at home watching the broadcast saw the replay in slow motion. Saw the elbow. Saw the laugh. And saw a player who got away with it in real time, even though the tape made it obvious. That gap between what the refs called and what the cameras showed is exactly why fans are furious. Exactly why social media exploded. Exactly why this story is bigger than just one play. And this isn't the first time. Go back to June 24th, same season. Same player. Thomas caught Caitlin Clark with a shot to the throat and a knee to the groin in the same game. A play that got upgraded to a flagrant 2 after the league reviewed it later. Same story. Contact way worse than what got called live. Only fixed after the fact once someone actually looked at the tape. 2 different games. 2 different targets. Same pattern of Thomas doing damage and the officials needing a replay to catch up. Clark sat this game out. Resting her body. Watching from the bench in street clothes. So Thomas couldn't get to her directly this time. Instead, she went after the next closest thing. The player Clark trusts and plays alongside every night. Clark's close friend on the roster. You don't have to guess why Hull became the target when the real target wasn't on the floor to hit. This is a pattern. And patterns don't lie. Before any of this happened, Stephanie White was already calling out the officiating in her pre-game comments, pointing at a double standard in how these games get called against her team. Turns out, she was right before the ball even went up. She saw it coming. She knew what was going to happen. And she said it out loud? And here's the payoff. The ultimate irony. Phoenix put the replay up on their own Jumbotron. In their own building. For their own fans. And those fans booed. Not Fever fans on the road. Phoenix fans booing their own player. Because even they could see what Thomas did was dirty. When your home crowd turns on you like that, there's no spin left to put on it. No PR team can fix that. No post-game interview can explain it away. The fans saw it. They knew. And they let her know. The Fever weren't about to let that sit once the ball went back live. Down 10 in the third quarter. Phoenix is starting to pull away. No Clark on the bench. Just street clothes. This is also the second night of a back-to-back. Indiana's legs are tired. That's when the Fever flip a switch and rattle off a 13-0 run that turns the whole third quarter inside out. The defense tightens up first, forcing bad shots and getting stops. And once the stops start coming, the offense finds easy buckets in transition. That's the run that turns a blowout into a game again. And Phoenix never fully recovers the cushion they had. The fourth quarter turns into a war. Every basket gets answered right back. Phoenix scores. Indiana scores. Neither team able to build a lead. Lead changes stack up possession after possession. Both benches are standing because sitting down feels impossible. Ty Harris becomes the engine. Nobody expected this. She scores 9 points in the fourth quarter alone. Drilling a 3 with 3 minutes left that hands Indiana the lead. Then scoring again with 44 seconds on the clock to put them back in front. Harris finishes with 15 points and 5 assists. Running the offense like she's been doing it all season. Harris 2 more. Couple tough whistles and a couple tougher shots. That's how you handle adversity. Winning like this without Clark carries its own weight. This is a full Phoenix roster. Healthy and rested. Against an Indiana team missing its best scorer. And somehow, the Fever still find a way to grind it out. That says everything about what this roster actually has when you strip away the headline name. Aaliyah Boston returns from missing the previous game. She finishes with 21 points and 9 rebounds. Hitting 3 of 5 from three-point range. Showing off a jump shot that wasn't part of her game last season. Boston in the lineup means Indiana has size and scoring inside again. And it shows up in every possession where Phoenix has no answer for her in the post. Because as wild as that fourth quarter got, the real fight happened in the paint. Where Aaliyah Boston was making Alyssa Thomas look like she didn't belong on the same floor. Picture this. Boston catching the ball on the block. Feeling Thomas leaning on her. And just going to work like Thomas isn't even there. Once. Twice. 3 times down the stretch. Boston backs her down in the post. And Thomas has no answer. This isn't one lucky bucket. It's a pattern. And by the third or fourth time, you can see Thomas looking at her bench like someone should help her. Thomas isn't a scrub defender. She's one of Phoenix's best two-way players. So when Boston shuts her down in the post, that's not a small thing. That's Indiana's center taking away the one thing Thomas is supposed to be great at. In front of a home crowd that came to watch Thomas dominate. Boston lets it fly and the Fever's back on top. Boston finds it and finishes it. Shot clock still in play. Aaliyah Boston cool, calm, and collected. The possessions are simple and brutal. Boston catches deep position. Feels Thomas pushing. And goes straight up and over her for a clean finish. No fadeaways. No tricky footwork. Just strength and touch over and over until Thomas starts fouling out of frustration. Then Boston does something nobody expected. She steps out to the three-point line. Catches the ball. And shoots it right in Thomas's face without hesitation. The shot goes in clean. And for a second the whole building goes quiet because that's not supposed to happen. Post players who just spent the whole game bullying you inside aren't supposed to step back and hit threes over you, too. Boston doesn't just make the shot and jog back. She celebrates right in front of Thomas. Right in her face. Given that Thomas elbowed Hull and laughed about it, Watching Boston get her moment in Thomas's space hits different. It's not extra. It's earned. Boston finishes with 21 points and 9 rebounds, while also guarding Thomas defensively for most of the night. That's a two-way effort most players don't turn in. Sophie Cunningham has her own job to finish. She steps in with 9 points. And in the final minute, she's at the free throw line knocking down the shots that seal it. Cunningham doesn't rattle. She calmly buries free throw after free throw while Phoenix watches the clock run out. After one of those makes, Cunningham turns to the crowd and does her pointing celebration. And here's the part that says everything. Cunningham used to play for Phoenix. She still lives there. And this is Phoenix's home arena. Yet the crowd cheers for her anyway. While Alyssa Thomas gets booed in her own building. That's not a road crowd turning on the home team. That's a home crowd choosing the visitor over their own player. 10 seconds left, and the game still isn't decided. Phoenix and Indiana have been trading punches all fourth quarter. Kelsey Mitchell's night builds slow and steady. She's been scoring all game, picking her spots, hitting pull-up jumpers. By the fourth quarter, she's already put together the kind of night that wins games. And she's not done yet. With 10.1 seconds on the clock, Mitchell attacks the rim like she's already decided this possession belongs to her. She drives past her defender, gets to her spot, and lays it in over outstretched arms to put Indiana ahead for good. No hesitation. No second guessing. Her final stat line, 29 points and 8 assists. The best performance either team puts up all night. That's not just scoring. That's controlling the game from start to finish. Lexie Hull has her own answer after getting elbowed in the face. She doesn't disappear. She doesn't play scared. She plays through it and finishes with 10 points. That's the response to getting hit in the face and laughed at while she was still down. Hull picks herself up, gets back on the floor, and keeps competing. That's toughness. That's character. Michaela Tipson comes up with a block that ends Phoenix's last real chance. Phoenix pushes the ball looking for a shot to answer Mitchell's layup. And Tipson meets it at the rim, and sends it away clean. That's the possession where Phoenix's hope runs out. From a role player doing exactly what her team needs. Harris scoring in the fourth. Hull playing through pain. Tipson with a defensive stop. That's depth showing up when the roster's best player is sitting in street clothes. Indiana just proved they've got more than one. Phoenix didn't go quietly. Thomas finishes with 22 points. Still productive even after getting outworked by Boston. Kalani Brown Copper matches her with 22. Both keep Phoenix in the game until the final possession. But scoring 22 each isn't enough when the other team has an answer for every run. The final buzzer sounds with Indiana ahead. This wasn't Indiana hanging on. This was Indiana answering every punch. Taking the lead with 10 seconds left. And closing the door with a defensive stop. Caitlin Clark watched every second from the bench. And she's about to walk into a locker room full of players who just proved they don't need her to win. Thomas wanted to send a message by targeting Hull. The Fever sent one right back. Boston in the post. Cunningham at the line. Mitchell's heroics. Hull playing through pain. Indiana just beat a full Phoenix roster without their best scorer. Once Clark steps back in, every team in this league should be worried. Stick around to see how Indiana carries this into the rest of the season. What should the WNBA do to Alyssa Thomas? Drop a comment down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. Click the video on the screen and we'll see you in the next one.